Hi, are you still curious? Do you still ask why and how about the things around you, especially in this fast-moving world of technology? If you are, welcome, that's me. I'm Gary Green and this is my YouTube channel and I'm still curious. The following video is going to be about exactly what my channel is. This is my first attempt at producing a YouTube video, and I'm going to tell you what you may expect from my channel as we go forward, as I go forward, and hopefully some of you will join me along the journey. I'll give you a little background, of course, who I am and why I'm here, and what you can expect. Of course, as a baby boomer, I was here when YouTube came around. I was back in my 50s, I guess, and it was a big deal. 2005, 2006, some of the first videos that I recall seeing, the ones that I think went viral. I don't even know if that was a term back then used for a video that got millions and millions of views. But I remember OK Go. That was a singing group that did a video to one of their songs as they danced and walked on treadmills in synchronization. It was really a cool video. I know lots of people watch it, and some of you may be familiar with it. I'm sure it's still out there, and it's probably got hundreds of millions of views by now. There was also that was OK Go. There was another one called Charlie Bit My Finger. A little baby and his brother, and that truly got, I know, tons of views. It probably still is. And the kids in that video probably, I'm sure they're in their 20s now. But and then there was one more, The Evolution of Dance, which was this single guy with a compilation of music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, doing the dance steps that were around with each one of those decades, and that was a lot of fun to watch. I know lots of people watched it. YouTube early on was a how-to source. I remember my first how-to video that I looked up. I was so excited. I had a ironing board that wouldn't close, and so it was stuck in the open position, and ironing boards aren't easy to store when they're open. And I got the idea, I don't know, somebody told me to go on YouTube, and I searched and I found one guy that had showed how to repair a ironing board. So that sticks in my memory, and now of course YouTube has been used a lot. I've used it a lot for how to figure things out. So I've been here since the beginning of YouTube, and now I want to start a channel, and I think I'm part of the evolution, and I know there's millions of creators. Well, I'm joining the club. I hope I'm not too late to the show. Besides the how-to videos, I've made discoveries that have helped me tremendously in research and in all sorts of areas, and that's going to be one of the purposes of my channel, is to bring some of those things that I learned. I am married. My wife, Fran, and I have been married for over 50 years, and we are navigating this world as people in our people in our 70s. And Fran and I noticed something as we've gone about our lives with friends and this sort of thing. And we've noticed that many people our age have really quit learning. They haven't kept up with technology. They still don't even know how to use email, and texting is like a foreign language to them. But Fran and I decided to keep up, and we really have done since the beginning of the computer age. I remember in believe it was 1982, Time magazine called the personal computer the man of the year. The PC moved in. And since 1982, look what has happened in the world of technology. We did get our first computer in the mid-'80s. We had 2 children, and our son was a perfect age for beginning in the computer age. So he had learning abilities that I didn't have. I had to learn stuff that was all brand new, where he was just beginning. It was like learning to read for him. For me, it was like a foreign language. But we've kept up. And I'm telling you, I think about this, the invention of the internet, PCs, smartphones, all this. I mean, folks, I really think that we're like the people when the light bulb was discovered, or electricity, or the telephone, the automobile, flying. It's really kind of a neat time to be in, that we can look back and say we were there at the beginning. So I'm going to share a bunch of stuff that I've learned because of this technology. Streaming services, how we watch TV or movies, or music. I'm a huge music fan. You'll see that from the 60s, 70s, lots of music. I really have enjoyed all types of music as I've gotten older, and I'm going to share some really cool discoveries that I found about songs and artists that I didn't even know about 50 years ago, that I have discovered thanks to this world of technology and YouTube and algorithms and this sort of thing. So that's kind of some of the stuff we're going to talk about. So I just really believe that people our age, and hopefully there's some Gen Xers watching this, that they stay curious. Stay curious. I really think it's important that people do. I think it's helpful for aging. So Fran and I noticed our friends asking questions as we were learning things and discovering things. I mean, we literally had people ask us, like, where'd you get that? How does that work? How'd you hear about that? I didn't know that existed. I mean, literally, should we buy one of those? How'd you find it? That sort of thing. It was really has been a very interesting time for our age group to be wondering. And we've been basically, I think it's kind of neat. We've been a go-to for people our age that wanted to learn things and have actually come to us and ask. And that's really kind of cool. And we love sharing. And that's why this video is existing, and why this channel hopefully will continue, because I've got tons of stuff I'm going to share. So I've decided that I'm not too old to do what I'm doing. There's plenty of YouTube videos right now, as I've been thinking about doing this, about people my age that are just getting on and talking. And some of them are interesting, some of them are a little bit different, but everybody's different. I don't expect everybody to like and do the same thing I do, but there's many people out there that probably are interested in what I've done and what I've learned. So I'm going to share those type of things. Get this point that I'm across to you, that I'm not an expert. I've just lived 70 plus years, and those of you that are my age, I'm certainly sure that they can verify that experience is a wonderful teacher, good or bad. Experience is really, really wonderful. I've done research on things. I've paid attention, and I want to tell you how it's helped me as I continue. So again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, how to do it, or you got to have this latest gadget. I'll be showing gadgets and a few things I learned, but they're not going to be this detailed unboxing, and you're not going to it won't be typical what you're used to when you try to learn about a new item and you got to sit through somebody yakking and yammering and not getting to the point. But a little bit more about me. For the last 15 years, I've been seriously into genealogy research, and I really consider myself a family historian and genealogy researcher. I'm involved with different organizations on this. I have developed presentations on family history and genealogy, and I've done public speaking. I love doing it. I just have a passion for it, and I'm going to be sharing some of those stories on this channel. Also, some of the things that have come to my mind that I said, I got to share some of this, and I was a crime scene investigator with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office back in the 1970s. Now, Palm Beach County, it's the first time I mentioned where I am, but I am in South Florida and was born and raised in the county that I still live in. But for 11 years, I was a crime scene investigator, and I've got probably a dozen or so interesting, fascinating cases about crimes that occurred in the 1970s and how we had to go about investigating it and solving it and bringing the bad guys to justice for those victims. So I'm excited about sharing some of those. Some of those are so fascinating. I've told them over the years, but just to whoever's willing to listen, and it is very intriguing, I think, and I'm excited about sharing those things. So I'll talk about being a crime scene investigator in the 70s, how we collected fingerprints. I am an expert in fingerprinting. At least I was back when I qualified in the criminal courts here in Palm Beach County. But I've got some fascinating cases to share. So we will be talking about curiosity. We will be talking about technology. I hope you learn things that you didn't know and discover things through this channel. Like I said, genealogy and true crime. True crime from a guy who was there. That's I know true crime is a big subject for vlogs, blogs, YouTube channels, all sorts of things. So I'll be talking about that. Fran and I are, I guess she'll be joining me. We'll talk about health, aging, doctors, the ways we've navigated this world. And I mean, at our age, I don't know how, if you're haven't kept up, I don't know how a 70-year-old, you got to be able to handle the technology. I've got things we're going to share about how to do that. Again, our purpose is to share, and hopefully will help you. The technology of, like for Tesla example, you probably haven't seen it, but we were looking into buying a Tesla vehicle. And we don't own one yet, but you may see something about that. And again, our research, most of our research has come from YouTubers, and it's been very interesting. And we may, just depending on what we decide, we may share our experiences with that. So there's things I probably haven't even thought about, things I have a long list, but I'm not going to bother sharing them with you. There is a issue that you're not going to see here at Gary Green Still Curious. You're not going to see fancy productions, graphics, sounds, loud talking. I'm not going to be talking with my hands. Do you ever watch those guys? You know, they're like this. I mean, that's so annoying. They may have a great subject, but I'm not staying with them if their hands get in their way. So anyway, just a little, not criticism of, well, it is criticism. It's something I don't enjoy doing. Anyway, you're not going to get that here. Editing, cuts, this sort of thing. It's just going to be conversation, information. Thought I'd let you know that I'm not here. I've said enough times that I'm here about sharing and discussing things, but I'm not chasing money. I don't need money. I'm not trying to become famous. I have no desire to be rich and famous. My life is my life, and I'm just here sharing me enjoying learning, sharing, and if some of you benefit from this, that's enough for me. That's the satisfaction. I've benefited, and I hope I can help you also benefit from this world and the information I'm passing on. In closing, I really want to remind you, and can't say enough, that as you age, staying curious is important. Never stop learning, never stop adapting, especially as you grow older. And if you're in my age group, you can't. You gotta. I think it's important. So, if all of this sounds like something you enjoy, I'd love to have you come along for my journey as we stay curious. And I'm Gary Green, and I am curious. I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.